Today, I want to dive into a topic we all relate to on some level: struggle. We often hear that struggles make us stronger, but sometimes we find ourselves in cycles of struggle that feel endless and exhausting. Why does this happen? Let's explore 9 reasons why you might be struggling for yourself and how awareness of these reasons can help shift your path forward. When it comes to personal struggle, one of the most significant underlying factors is often a lack of clarity in goals and purpose. Without a clear sense of direction, we may find ourselves feeling lost, unsure, or constantly questioning the value of our efforts. This lack of purpose can lead to stress, confusion, and even self-doubt as we try to push forward without a true understanding of what we're working toward. Understanding the reasons why clear goals and purpose are so important can help illuminate just how central they are to overcoming challenges and achieving satisfaction in life. Having a well-defined purpose is like having a compass. When we have a clear direction, it becomes easier to make decisions and prioritize tasks. We can say yes to opportunities that align with our values and goals and no to distractions or pursuits that don't serve our larger purpose. This focus not only reduces stress, but also brings a sense of fulfillment as our actions begin to feel more meaningful. In contrast, without a purpose, we may feel that our actions are scattered or unfocused. We might switch from one task to another without a clear sense of why, simply hoping that something will eventually click. This can create a cycle of unproductive effort where we're busy but not truly progressing toward anything substantial. Clarity in goals also provides motivation. Setting specific, realistic goals gives us something tangible to work toward, and every small achievement reinforces our commitment to progress. When goals are vague, motivation can quickly wane. Consider the difference between a general aim, like I want to be successful, and a concrete goal, like I want to earn a promotion in my field within the next 2 years by taking on additional responsibilities and improving my skills. The second goal is clear, measurable, and actionable, making it much easier to create a plan, track progress, and celebrate milestones along the way. Without this specificity, we often feel stuck as we lack a roadmap to guide our actions. Without clear goals, it's also easy to fall into patterns of comparison with others. When we're not sure of our own path, we may look to others for validation, asking questions like, am I doing enough? Or should I be where they are? This can lead to a sense of inadequacy and a feeling that we're constantly falling behind. However, when we are confident in our goals, we're less likely to worry about others' achievements, as we know that our focus is on what truly matters to us. Setting personalized goals aligned with our interests and values helps us to recognize that our path is unique and that our progress doesn't need to match anyone else's. The benefits of having clear goals and purpose also extend to our mental and emotional well-being. Struggling without a purpose can lead to feelings of frustration, anxiety, and even depression. When we feel uncertain about our direction, it can affect our self-worth, as we may start to question our abilities or our value. However, having well-defined goals provides us with a sense of accomplishment and self-respect as we work toward our aspirations. Even in moments of difficulty, having a purpose helps us stay resilient and focused, as we have a clear reason to push forward. Purpose is also closely tied to our relationships and the ways we connect with others. When we're unsure of our goals, it can be difficult to set healthy boundaries or to communicate our needs and aspirations. This can create tension in relationships, as others may feel that we're unpredictable or unable to commit to shared plans. However, when we have a clear purpose, it becomes easier to communicate our values and priorities, creating stronger, more authentic connections with others who support our journey. Finding clarity in goals and purpose isn't always a straightforward process. It requires introspection, honesty, and sometimes even trial and error. Exploring your values, identifying what truly excites or inspires you, and taking time to reflect on your strengths and interests can all be valuable steps toward defining your goals. Some people find that writing down their goals or creating a vision board helps bring clarity to their aspirations, while others benefit from setting short-term, achievable milestones that provide insight into their long-term objectives. Ultimately, having a clear purpose and specific goals creates a solid foundation for personal growth and satisfaction. It helps us break free from cycles of struggle by giving us direction, motivation, and a sense of meaning that enriches our everyday lives. By taking steps to clarify our purpose, we not only become more resilient and focused, but also more empowered to create the lives we truly want. Self-doubt and fear of failure are 2 deeply ingrained obstacles that can prevent us from achieving our goals and realizing our potential. These emotions affect almost everyone at some point, yet they have a particularly significant impact when they become persistent or when they dictate our decisions and behavior. At their core, self-doubt and fear of failure stem from a concern that we might not be good enough, that we'll fall short, or that others might judge us negatively if we make mistakes. The power of these fears can shape our lives, limiting our ambitions and holding us back from opportunities. However, understanding their roots and learning to confront them can help us transform these obstacles into tools for growth. Self-doubt often arises from negative beliefs we hold about ourselves. These beliefs may have developed over time, shaped by past experiences, criticism, or social influences. For instance, if someone grew up in an environment where they were frequently compared to others or criticized for mistakes, they may have internalized the belief that they aren't capable enough. This feeling of inadequacy can persist into adulthood, affecting personal and professional ambitions. Self-doubt manifests as an inner voice that questions our ability to succeed or dismisses our achievements as mere luck rather than genuine skill or effort. This constant questioning can become paralyzing, leading us to avoid taking risks or even trying new things, as we fear that failure will confirm our perceived inadequacies. The fear of failure is closely linked to self-doubt, as it often stems from a belief that our worth is dependent on our success. Society tends to celebrate achievements and dismiss failures, which can create a skewed perspective where we view any misstep as a reflection of our character or capability. This fear is magnified by the pressure to live up to certain standards or expectations, whether those are set by ourselves, our families, or society at large. We might fear that failing at something will lead others to judge us negatively, or that it will reinforce the self-doubt we already feel. In some cases, this fear can become so intense that we avoid setting challenging goals altogether, choosing to remain within our comfort zones rather than risk disappointment or criticism. Self-doubt and fear of failure can create a cycle that becomes increasingly difficult to break. For example, self-doubt may prevent us from pursuing a goal, leading to a lack of experience or progress in that area. This lack of progress then reinforces our belief that we aren't capable, strengthening the cycle of self-doubt. Similarly, avoiding challenges because of a fear of failure prevents us from gaining confidence through practice and achievement. Over time, this avoidance can cause us to question our worth even more, making it harder to take risks in the future. Breaking this cycle requires both self-awareness and a willingness to challenge our own perceptions, but doing so can open the door to growth and success. One effective way to address self-doubt is through self-compassion. Many people are much harder on themselves than they would be on others, criticizing their own mistakes while offering kindness to friends or family who face similar setbacks. Practicing self-compassion means treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would show to others. Instead of seeing failure as a personal flaw, we can view it as a natural part of learning and growth. By adopting a more compassionate perspective, we begin to see that everyone makes mistakes and that setbacks don't define us. This shift in mindset can help to reduce the power of self-doubt, allowing us to approach challenges with a more balanced and forgiving outlook. Another valuable strategy for overcoming self-doubt and fear of failure is to reframe our perspective on mistakes. Rather than seeing failure as a confirmation of inadequacy, we can choose to view it as a stepping stone towards success. Each failure provides feedback, helping us identify areas for improvement and adjust our approach. Many successful people have experienced significant failures along their journeys, and these setbacks often serve as catalysts for growth and innovation. By focusing on the lessons that failure offers rather than on the disappointment it may initially bring, we can transform setbacks into opportunities for personal development. Setting small, achievable goals can also help combat self-doubt and fear of failure. When we set overly ambitious goals, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and to give up before even starting. Breaking down our goals into smaller steps allows us to experience regular progress and build confidence incrementally. With each small success, we accumulate evidence of our capabilities, which can gradually erode the foundations of self-doubt. These small wins not only provide motivation, but also reinforce a positive self-image, allowing us to approach larger goals with a stronger sense of self-assurance. Building a supportive environment is equally important in overcoming self-doubt and fear of failure. The people we surround ourselves with can have a tremendous impact on our mindset. Positive, encouraging friends or mentors can offer perspective and remind us of our strengths when we lose sight of them. Conversely, a critical or judgmental environment can exacerbate self-doubt and make the fear of failure even more daunting. Actively seeking out supportive individuals, whether in professional settings or personal relationships, provides a network of encouragement and constructive feedback that can bolster our confidence. Lastly, acknowledging the inevitability of failure is crucial. No one is immune to setbacks, and learning to accept this fact can help us become more resilient. By normalizing failure as part of the journey, we reduce its emotional impact and become less likely to let it deter us from our goals. Accepting failure as a possibility doesn't mean expecting it, but rather understanding that it's a natural part of any ambitious endeavor. Each time we experience failure and persevere, we build resilience, which ultimately helps us face future challenges with greater courage and resolve. In conclusion, while self-doubt and fear of failure are common obstacles, they don't have to dictate our actions or limit our potential. By addressing the roots of these fears and learning to reframe our approach to setbacks, we can reduce their hold on us. Practicing self-compassion, setting achievable goals, building supportive networks, and normalizing failure are all powerful strategies to empower ourselves against these limiting beliefs. Overcoming self-doubt and fear of failure is not an instant process, but with persistence, we can cultivate a mindset that embraces growth, allowing us to pursue our goals with confidence and resilience. And comparing ourselves to others is a habit that many of us fall into, often without even realizing it. With social media and constant access to the lives of others, comparing ourselves to others has become easier than ever. We may see snapshots of others' success, happiness, and achievements and begin to feel that our own lives don't quite measure up. While some comparisons can inspire us or help us learn, frequently comparing ourselves to others tends to have a negative impact on our self-esteem, mental health, and personal growth. This tendency to look outward instead of inward can lead us to feel inadequate, robbing us of happiness and distracting us from our own goals and values. One of the main reasons we compare ourselves to others is our natural tendency to assess how we're doing in relation to others. In ancient times, this ability to compare and evaluate was useful for survival. It helped us understand how we fit within a group, identify allies, and develop skills that would support us in social or survival situations. However, in modern times where achievements and lifestyle are constantly on display, this instinct can backfire, causing us to measure our worth based on other people's successes rather than on our own progress and values. Comparing ourselves to others can create feelings of inadequacy. When we see people achieving things we aspire to, such as career success, financial freedom, or personal happiness, it's easy to feel as though we're falling short. This can be especially harmful when we compare ourselves to others who are at different stages in life or who have had entirely different experiences, resources, or challenges. We're often comparing our behind-the-scenes struggles with others' highlight reels, which leads to a skewed perception of our own lives. This feeling of inadequacy, based on an unrealistic comparison, undermines our self-esteem and prevents us from fully appreciating our own journey. Another consequence of constant comparison is that it distracts us from our personal growth. When we focus too much on others, we tend to lose sight of our own goals and values. Our energy is diverted toward trying to meet external expectations rather than pursuing what truly fulfills us. We may even start to set goals based on what we see others achieving rather than on our own interests or aspirations. This can lead to dissatisfaction because we're chasing a version of success that doesn't truly align with who we are. Instead of making choices based on what brings us joy or purpose, we become influenced by the pressure to keep up with others. Furthermore, comparing ourselves to others often leads to a lack of gratitude. When we're preoccupied with what others have, we tend to overlook our own blessings, talents, and achievements. Gratitude is a powerful tool for happiness and well-being as it helps us focus on the positive aspects of our lives. By constantly comparing, we inadvertently shift our focus to what we lack, which can lead to a cycle of wanting more and never feeling content. This focus on scarcity rather than abundance can take away from the joy of our accomplishments, as we're always looking at what's missing rather than appreciating what's present. In addition to affecting our self-worth, comparing ourselves to others can impact our relationships. We may feel envious of friends or colleagues who seem to be doing better, leading to resentment or jealousy. This can create distance in relationships and prevent us from truly celebrating others' successes. Positive, supportive relationships are important for mental well-being, and focusing on others' achievements in a competitive way can erode this support network. Instead of fostering a mindset of abundance, where we're genuinely happy for others' successes, comparison breeds competitiveness, which can diminish the quality of our relationships. The first step in overcoming this habit is awareness. Acknowledge when you're comparing yourself to someone else and recognize how it makes you feel. This awareness can help you catch yourself in the act and consciously choose to refocus on your own life. Remember that everyone has a unique journey and that success looks different for everyone. Focusing on personal growth means setting goals that align with your values and measuring success by your own standards, not by someone else's achievements. Practicing gratitude can also help reduce the urge to compare. By regularly reflecting on the things you're grateful for, your talents, experiences, and relationships, you create a more positive outlook. Gratitude shifts the focus from what you lack to what you have, helping you to appreciate your own journey and accomplishments. Surrounding yourself with people who support and inspire you rather than those who promote competitiveness also helps to foster a positive mindset. Seek out relationships where mutual support is prioritized and celebrate your friends and family members' successes without feeling diminished by them. In conclusion, comparing ourselves to others is a habit that can easily lead to feelings of inadequacy, a lack of fulfillment, and strained relationships. By shifting our focus inward and setting our own goals based on our values, we can cultivate a sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on others. Embracing gratitude and recognizing our unique journey allows us to find happiness and fulfillment on our terms, rather than through the lens of comparison. One of the most common challenges people face in reaching their goals is a lack of consistency and patience. We live in a world of instant gratification, where so much of what we want can be obtained quickly, from fast food to online shopping to quick fixes for almost anything. As a result, we often become conditioned to expect immediate results in all areas of our lives. However, when it comes to personal growth, career success, or building meaningful relationships, real progress takes time, effort, and above all, consistency and patience. Without these qualities, it's easy to become discouraged, lose motivation, and ultimately give up on our goals. Consistency is the foundation of achieving any goal. It is the steady, regular action that, over time, accumulates into significant progress. Many people start with enthusiasm and make substantial initial efforts toward their goals, but when results don't appear as quickly as expected, they lose interest or become frustrated. For example, someone might start a new fitness routine and work out rigorously for a few weeks, expecting to see dramatic changes. When they don't see immediate physical transformation, they may give up, assuming that their efforts are not making a difference. In reality, however, fitness, like many other areas, requires consistent effort over a prolonged period to show results. The same principle applies to learning new skills, building a career, or even developing strong relationships. Consistency requires commitment. It is not about doing something once or twice. It's about showing up every day, even on days when motivation is low. Many people rely on motivation to get them through tasks, but motivation is a fleeting emotion that ebbs and flows. Relying solely on motivation means that on days when you don't feel inspired, you're likely to skip the work. Discipline, however, helps maintain consistency because it encourages you to take action regardless of how you feel. Developing discipline is essential for sticking to any plan, as it turns small, regular actions into habits that eventually lead to progress. Consistency compounds over time, and though the day-to-day changes may seem minimal, the cumulative impact can be life-changing. In addition to consistency, patience is an equally critical component of long-term success. While consistency focuses on the actions we take, patience allows us to tolerate the time it takes to see the results of those actions. Patience is the willingness to wait without frustration, to recognize that valuable outcomes often take longer to manifest. When we are impatient, we tend to expect results prematurely, and if we don't see progress quickly, we may feel that our efforts are wasted. This mindset can lead to frequent changes in goals, approaches, or interests, which prevents us from ever truly reaching our potential in any one area. Lack of patience can lead to a phenomenon called shiny object syndrome, where we jump from one pursuit to another, chasing quick results but never committing long enough to achieve lasting success. One reason patience is so difficult to cultivate is that our culture often celebrates overnight success stories, which can create unrealistic expectations. We hear about people who seemingly became successful overnight, and we may feel that if we don't see rapid success, we are somehow falling short. However, these stories rarely capture the years of hard work, setbacks, and perseverance that went into those successes. True success is often built on countless hours of unseen effort, which requires both consistency and the patience to persist when the results are not yet visible. Developing patience allows us to stay committed during these periods when our progress may be invisible to others or even to ourselves. In a society that prizes quick fixes and shortcuts, we can develop a sense of impatience that not only hampers our ability to stick to goals but also increases stress and anxiety. Patience helps us stay grounded, allowing us to focus on the process rather than becoming fixated on the immediate outcome. When we practice patience, we are better equipped to handle challenges and setbacks because we understand that they are part of the journey rather than signs of failure. For example, someone pursuing a long-term goal like writing a book or starting a business may encounter numerous setbacks along the way. Without patience, each obstacle might feel like a reason to quit. But with patience, we can view setbacks as learning opportunities, making adjustments, and continuing forward rather than abandoning our efforts. Cultivating consistency and patience requires a shift in mindset. Rather than expecting immediate results, we must embrace the process and recognize that small steps taken regularly are what ultimately lead to big changes. One effective approach is to set smaller, achievable milestones on the path to larger goals. Breaking down big goals into smaller steps makes the process feel more manageable and allows us to celebrate small victories along the way. These small accomplishments reinforce our commitment and remind us that we are progressing, even if the ultimate outcome is still in the distance. For example, instead of setting a goal to learn a new language fluently in a few months, a more achievable approach might be to commit to practicing for 15 minutes a day. Each small session contributes to a larger goal, building confidence and skill over time. Another strategy is to develop mindfulness and focus on the present moment. When we become too fixated on the future, we risk becoming anxious about when we'll reach our goals. Practicing mindfulness helps us stay grounded, reminding us that the process itself has value and that each step we take is a success in its own right. This practice can help reduce the stress that comes with impatience and allow us to enjoy the journey rather than constantly yearning for the destination. Mindfulness also helps us to appreciate the progress we're making, even if it's slow, and to recognize that growth is happening, even if it's not immediately apparent. Lastly, finding a support system can help foster both consistency and patience. Sharing our goals with others, especially those who value consistency, can provide encouragement on days when we feel like giving up. Whether through friends, family, or mentors, having people who hold us accountable can make a big difference in our ability to stay on track. They can remind us of the progress we've made and help us keep perspective when impatience or frustration creeps in. In conclusion, consistency and patience are essential qualities for anyone seeking to make lasting changes or reach significant goals. While the pull of instant gratification can be strong, meaningful achievements require sustained effort and the willingness to wait for results. By focusing on building daily habits, setting manageable milestones, practicing mindfulness, and seeking support, we can develop the consistency and patience needed to turn our aspirations into reality. Embracing these qualities allows us to approach our goals with a balanced, resilient mindset, making the journey towards success more fulfilling and ultimately more achievable.